Hey there, Donald here with another of my famous screencast thingies. So Apple recently released an update to Aperture, upgrading it to version 3.1, and as you can see from this release notes, they added a huge laundry list of changes and new features. A ton of bug fixes, performance improvements, all sorts of things. But one thing that they changed that I didn't see in the release notes, maybe unless I'm missing anything, is the way they handle accounts for like Flickr and Facebook. It used to be that posting to Flickr or Facebook, if you have multiple accounts, was a real pain in the butt. I'm probably not the only one to do this, but I actually have multiple Flickr accounts. I have one for my personal photos, and I have one for my podcast, Otaku no Podcast. I go to anime conventions, and I take pictures of people, in costume at the conventions, and I post them to the Otaku no Podcast Flickr account. But handling multiple Flickr accounts used to be a real pain. Every time you wanted to switch accounts, you'd have to click a button, and then it would take you to a website, and you would have to log in as the other account, and then you would have to authorize Aperture, and it was just a real pain. They have dramatically simplified things. It is now an absolute joy to use multiple accounts. So, let's say we wanted to post a picture. To do that, we click on the Flickr button here, just as before. Now notice though, this new drop down, you can actually choose which account to post to. So I can post, say, this picture to the Otaku no Podcast account, and so on. Now these accounts are managed in a new preference pane called Web Accounts. Now here in the menu, you notice we can disable all accounts, or we can disable or enable individual accounts. We can also go in and here and edit accounts. Here's where we can add new web accounts. So let's say I created another Flickr account and I want to add it to my list of accounts. I can use the plus symbol there, and it'll ask me which type of account to add, and so on. Now you'll also notice this other setting, automatically check for newly published albums. That's because Aperture now synchronizes your Flickr photo sets and your Facebook albums into Aperture. So here, as you can see, I have both my Donald Burr and Otaku no Podcast Flickr accounts. But as you can see here, all of my Flickr photo sets synchronized over. So I can say, for example, click on one of them and say this one hasn't synced over yet. Notice it's synchronizing, but in a few minutes you will see the pictures start to appear. Now, of course, these pictures aren't actually stored on my computer. These are being pulled off of Flickr, so I can't really do any edits or anything, but I can view them. So that's kind of handy. And again, when we go to post a picture, since all of the Flickr sets synchronized over, I now can choose whether I want to post to a new set, just to my photo stream, or if I want to post to one of my already existing sets. This eliminates the problem of, when you used to post Aperture would always create a new set whenever you post a picture, so you'd have like over 9,000 different photo sets on Flickr. So now you can explicitly tell it to create a new set if you want to, or you can explicitly pick a set to put it in, or just stick it into the end of your photo stream. So this is a fantastic improvement. There's also quite a few other improvements. Speed is definitely improved. It still beach balls a little bit too often than I think it should, but when it does, at least it doesn't beach ball for very long. There's definite speed improvements, especially when doing all detailed editing, using the editing brushes and so forth. And as you can see from the release notes, they definitely fixed quite a few things. A lot of crashes and odd behavior has been fixed. So if you've been on the fence whether you should upgrade to Aperture 3 or not, I think now is definitely the time. Aperture 3.1 is definitely a worthy upgrade. Now, word of warning: it actually asks you you need to upgrade your Aperture library, and I didn't have any problems with my library. I've got a huge Aperture library, over 30,000 pictures in it, and I haven't heard of anyone else having problems. But still, whenever you upgrade libraries like this, it's always a good idea to back up before you upgrade. So, just a word of warning. Anyways, Aperture 3.1, definitely a worthy upgrade. And if you've been on the fence about whether to go to Aperture or not, now is the time. This is Donald Burr. Hope you enjoyed this screencast, and I'll see you next time.